Hi students, welcome to this biology class. I am Rahul, your biology teacher and mentor. Today's class is very special to me and for you as well because we are going to learn about one of the important cell organelle of the cell, that is the nucleus, but in a more imaginative way over here. So first we'll start with the basic line, that is fundamental unit of life. So we know that cell is the basic fundamental unit of life. Without the cell, a living organism cannot be possible or life cannot be possible. So let's see and learn about this nucleus, but in a more interactive and in more beautiful way over here. Now I want every one of you to focus on this image, right? Because this image, as you can see this over here, this image has a beautiful structure and all other cell organelles. This yellow part which you are seeing over here is nothing but the nucleus over here, and you can see the centrioles, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum and other structures over here. I am sure you must be fascinated that how this beautiful image can be over here. But remember, this yellow color part is the nucleus, and I'm sure you're seeing this kind of 3D image for the first time. So now let's move ahead and learn more in detail about this nucleus. As you know that nucleus is one of the most important structure of the cell over here. So when we talk about the cell over here, this cell has a structure which is called as the nucleus. So this nucleus is present inside the cell, which is surrounded by the cytoplasm over here. Now if you see this, the liquid part over here, it is nothing but the cytoplasm. So nucleus is surrounded by the cytoplasm and it generally have a spherical shape over here, but its shape can change little bit in different types of the tissue or the cell over here. So moving on to this over here, as you know this, right? Suppose this is a cell, this is the nucleus. We cannot see the cell even with the naked eyes. So it's very difficult to see the nucleus inside the cell. So to see the nucleus inside the cell, we use a microscope, and if you put the slide into the microscope, you will see a stained nucleus, means we have put some chemicals on it so that we can see these diagrams over here, how it looks in under the microscope over here. So to see the nucleus inside the cell, we need a microscope over here. Now moving on to the next thing over here, again we have this beautiful diagram, and again you can see the nucleus over here. Just like the school principal controls all the activities inside the cell, this structure, that is the nucleus, will control all the activities that is happening inside the cell. So just like the principal controls everything, nucleus controls everything inside the cell over here, whatever is happening inside the cell over here. So moving on to the next thing over here is that, as you know that generally a cell contains one nucleus, but there are some tissues which can have more than one nucleus into this over here. So as you can see this over here, the muscle cells have more than one nucleus. So nucleus can be one, or it can be present in multiple numbers in different types of the cells over here. Now I want every one of you to focus on this, that is the parts of the nucleus. If you see this beautiful 3D diagram of the nucleus, you find the nuclear membrane or nuclear envelope or karyolemma over here. You will find this structure, right, which is radiation appearance, which is called as nucleolus, and then you will find the nuclear sap or the you can say that nucleoplasm, and then we have a structure which is called as chromosome. Now let's repeat one more time because this is beautiful image and you can see this all the structures: nuclear membrane, nucleolus, chromosome, and then we have the nuclear sap or nucleoplasm, that is the cytoplasm of the nucleus over here. Now when we talk about this nuclear membrane, you will see that this nuclear membrane has an, you can see this membrane, it has some pores which we'll learn over here, but this nuclear membrane, it is the outer membrane, or you can say the outermost layer of the nucleus, which is called as nuclear membrane, nuclear envelope, or you can say that karyolemma. So it will separate the nucleus from the cytoplasm, because you can see generally the nucleus is present at the center and we have surrounding the cytoplasm. So it will separate the contents of the nucleus from the cytoplasm over here. Now if you see this, right, it will separate the contents of the nucleus from the cytoplasm. But you will see that I told you this nuclear envelope has a very minute pores which are called as nuclear pores. So this nuclear pore will allow entry as well as exit of some materials inside and outside the cell. That is the role of the nuclear pore over here. Now moving on to the next thing over here is that we have different parts of the nucleus, that is the nucleolus over here, and we have this chromosome over here. As we have learned, nucleus is a storehouse of RNA, and it involves in the formation of the ribosome, that is the protein factories of the cell, and we have the chromosomes which contains genetic information of the organism over here. Now moving on to the next thing over here is that if you see and zoom into this chromosome, you will find that it will lead to that structure which is called as DNA. Suppose that if you have a rope and if you unwind it, you will ultimately lead to a structure which is called as the DNA over here, right? So chromosomes are the thread-like structure which plays a very important role in the inheritance of the characteristics from the parents to the offspring, right? From the parents to the offspring, and when you unwind it, right, you will get the DNA. It has major function. For example, it will transfer the characteristics from the parents to the offspring, contains all the genetic information in the code, how an organism will look like and how their function will be done. So students, I hope you enjoyed this very little topic from my side and you have enjoyed the diagram also. So this was all from my side. See you soon in the next lecture.